Well, the title of my newest book is Beyond Referrals. We have to go beyond referrals. We can't just settle for the referral. We have to get connected. We have to get introduced. And there's a lot of things that go into that. First of all, when we ask for referrals, we always have to make sure it's based on the value that we bring to that client. I teach a client-centered, value-based referral process. And when we talk to our clients about the value they perceive in the relationship, that's giving us an opportunity to leverage that relationship, but it's also informing what the introduction might be, because how you found value may be what you want to say to your friend or your family member, right? And so we also want to learn as much as we can about the new prospect. And one of the greatest questions we can ask is what's going on in their life that's important to them, or what are they passionate about? Because we know that money intersects all aspects of one's life, right? And so whatever they're passionate about, whatever that's important in their life, that could be the reason why you're contacting them. And if you want people to sit down with you and hear your story, you've got to have a compelling reason why they should do that. And so the referral source is a tremendous source of this information to help you craft an approach that's more compelling. So you're learning the value that the client found. You're learning what's important in the prospect's life. You're starting to bring these two together. And the referral process really is a collaborative event. It's something we and the referral source do together. I used to work with a lot of veterans that would come up to me and say, oh, so you're asking me to ask my clients to do my work. Because they were so used to just walking away with names and phone numbers, they could call these people up and write some business. But that doesn't work anymore. We have to get the referral source involved with the do not call regulations, with all the different ways it's so hard to reach people, right? So the first part is we make it collaborative, together. Let's talk about what we need to do to get me in front of George, so he'll be open to hearing what I do. Right? So we talk about that. How would you like to introduce me to George? Or my guess is George would like to hear from you before he hears from me, don't you think? Yes. People want to protect the relationship, so we give them that opportunity to protect relationships. When someone says, you ask for referrals, someone says, I want to talk to them first, that's not necessarily an objection. That's a condition, and that's a condition we actually like because we need them to talk to them first, even if it's just in an email. So we make it collaborative. We talk about what is it going to look like. Are we going to meet over a meal? Are we going to do it with email? Whatever is natural for that relationship is what's most important. And then here's the kicker. Here's the most important question we need to ask in getting the introduction. What do you think you need to say to George to get him willing to take my call? Or what do you think you need to say to George to pique his interest in hearing from me? You have to talk to your referral source, usually your client. What are they going to say to their friend, their family member, their colleague? A few things will happen when you talk about this. First of all, you're going to get a better introduction, right? You want to avoid the dreaded life insurance introduction, right? Oh, I'm just going to tell him if he needs more life insurance, he should talk to you. Well, no, please don't do that, right? Because obviously the work you do for someone else may be very different, and sometimes people just don't want to talk to life folks, right? So we got to make sure that we get a good, solid introduction of what we know is going to work. When the referral source starts to talk through this a little bit, their confidence gains in actually making the introduction. They get more confident. And so guess what? They're more likely to actually do it. So the referral, the introduction isn't going to fall through the cracks. They're actually going to follow through. You might want to also ask, how do you think George will react to this? What do you think his reaction will be? You might even anticipate a few objections. You're kind of helping your referral source make that good connection because it's a little bit out of your control now. And that's just the nature of the beast. So we got to talk to them about it. We also want to make sure we set a time frame. Classic mistake. You can talk to George? Great, let me know what he says. Right? We've all been through that, and we never know whether they ever talk to George, right? So always create a time frame. Today's Wednesday. When you think you have a chance to talk to him, great, I'll call you on Monday. We'll go from there. So we have a time frame, an agreement. And then, let's say it's Wednesday, and I know my client's going to talk to their friend over the weekend. They're playing golf. So I'll say, great, I'll call you on Monday. Sounds good. On Friday, they're getting an email from me that says, thank you for the opportunity to see if I can be a resource for your friend George. I'll call you Monday as we agreed. So it's a reminder in the form of a thank you. I'm saying thank you, but I'm reminding them about the introduction that they committed to. So now we have a better chance of these not falling through the cracks, right? We've talked about what it's going to sound like. We've even helped them practice almost a little bit. We've got a time frame. We remind them a little bit, and it's much less likely to fall through the cracks. So here's my overarching philosophy around creating an introduction to kind of sum it up. When the Food and Drug Administration decides to put a drug onto the market, it's looking for two things. Is that drug safe and effective? Safe and effective. Well, that's my philosophy around an introduction. It's got to be safe, meaning the parties need to feel comfortable. Right? What's going to happen? How are you going to act? What are they going to do? Are they going to feel comfortable? Is it going to feel safe to everybody, not over-aggressive? And is it going to be effective? Am I going to get in front of this person in a way that he'll at least take my call or return my email? You can even say those words to your client who's giving you a referral. You know, let's talk a little bit of how you introduced me to George. You know, first of all, I want it to feel safe for everybody, right? I want it to feel comfortable so he knows I'm not going to hound him. You know I'm not going to hound him. If he's interested, great. If not, certainly I back off. And obviously I want to get connected in a way that does pique his interest. So at least he'll hear what I have to say and I can ask him some questions and pretty much carry the way I did with you. How's that sound? So we want it safe, comfortable, and we want it effective. So in summary, the introduction is a collaborative process. We learn, we take the value discussion, we take what we've learned about that prospect, we create a compelling reason why that prospect should talk with us, and then we create a time frame around that so it's less likely to fall through the cracks.